But we're also going to talk about the wing-backs. Both of them played very well. Emerson Royal. You will know very well that I've made my feelings known on Emerson Royal's ability as a wing-back. That's the best way to put it. And do you know what? It's not his fault. Of course it's not. I've said this before. Fabio Paratici signed him for Nuno Espirito Santo as a solid right-back. Very much a standard right-back. And that's what he can do very well. However, when asked to play as a wing-back, it's a different matter. But what I think has happened in the last couple of matches, I feel like Conte has taken away some of his attacking responsibilities, just taken a few away. And I feel like we've seen it coincide in the last two games with some of his best performances. And do you know what? At Anfield, I think it was his best performance in a Spurs shirt, Emerson Royal. He was fantastic. His defending was superb. You know, we all kind of used to worry maybe when you look back at someone like Sergio Aurier and you'd wonder, like, oh, when's the penalty coming? When's he going to do something daft? And I think some people maybe have slightly unfairly put that on Emerson just because of like the odd moment he's had while he's been adapting to the league this season. But actually, when it comes to his defending, I think on the whole he's done a good job. And you know, bearing in mind another young player, 23 years old, I thought he was very, very good. Not a lot came down his side of the pitch. It didn't really at all. And I think it said something that they took off Robertson as well. I mean, it may have been a tiredness thing anyway, but I don't think Robertson had much joy down there at all. I've got some Emerson stats. His passing actually. Bearing in mind the pressing, and they were pressing him particularly hard down that side as well. 78.8% of his 33 passes found their mark. Half of his 6 crosses found a Tottenham shirt, which is a big improvement as well. And 4 out of his 5 long balls found a Tottenham player as well. And obviously, he had a key pass as well, which randomly turned up on the left-hand side of the pitch. I don't know whether he'd been chasing back from a previous, like a Liverpool, from a Spurs corner or something. He'd got himself on the other side of the pitch. But he kind of hoofed this high lofted pass into the air. And that was the one that, Kane took down beautifully. Kane didn't have his greatest game in the world, but he took that pass down beautifully. And obviously put Sese뇽's song. And we're going to talk about that goal a little bit. But yeah, Emerson was really good. He was really good. He's not a natural fit as a wing-back. He's not. And I still wonder whether that may have a consequence for his future at the club, especially if Conte stays and we're going to play with wing-backs, and whether Conte feels he can turn him into wing-back. But nights like this show his value. They do. And if he does move, I think he'll have no issue finding another club. I think they'll be queuing up, especially back in Spain for him. I think Spurs will probably make more than they bought him for. But perhaps if there's a way of training the attacking side to him, perhaps he becomes a good option down that side. I just can't see both him and Doherty staying for next season because there will be a new right wing back coming. To be absolutely fair to him, he grew and grew as the game went on in confidence. He really did. He was terrific as it went on. And the thing that probably impressed me most, we'll talk about his attacking kind of instinct and the fact that he is a more natural wing back. But what impressed me the most is he's 21 years old. And we've now seen him play as, look, let's be honest, the formation was, 5-4-1 out of possession. And it became a kind of a 3-4-3, maybe a 3-4-2-1 when Spurs were, and I know 3-4-2-1 isn't technically a formation, but you know what I mean. And that was what it became when they had the ball. So Cesc was playing pretty much as a solid left back. So taking the fact he's 21 years old, he's gone to the Etihad and put in an incredibly tactically disciplined performance there. And then he's gone to Anfield and done exactly the same. He was very good and a noisy Anfield. And I still can't get over the fact he's 21. It is ridiculous. And these stats, right? He made 5 tackles, Sese뇽, more than any other player on the pitch. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold had 4. And I think, did I say earlier? It might have been Dyer. Someone else had 4. Oh, it might have been Emerson. I think Emerson had 4 as well. but Sese뇽 was 5, so more than anyone else. He also made 3 clearances and made 1 key block of a Liverpool shot. And funnily enough, the one occasion Salah kind of did get away from him after he decided to improve, Sese뇽 did exactly what any top manager wants them to do, and Mourinho used to want this, Conte wants it now, and that is, you just cynically pull back that player. You stop them going. You take that yellow card, and he did. He did it, and it stopped the momentum of what would have been a dangerous attack. And yeah, I'm delighted for Sese뇽. You know, I said this before, he's a player that I think has got huge potential. Conte thinks he's got huge potential. The big thing for Conte is that he believes... He's just got to believe in himself. I think that's as simple as it is, and that's the key. You know, we know about the hamstring problems. They are occurring in different hamstrings, different muscles within the hamstring, which is a good thing. Doesn't maybe sound like it is, but it is, because it means he's not constantly re-injuring the same muscle and that they're weak. It just means that he's got to learn how to move his body in a certain way that he's not damaging that area constantly. So, but that can be, like I say, there are players with hamstring problems that can overcome them. And I'm sure Ryan Sese뇽 can. And it's about the belief. You saw that in the game. He kind of started off being tentative in the way he was getting forward. And as the game wore on, he was getting further and further up the pitch in terms of when Spurs were attacking, getting to the touchline and pinging it across into the box. And never better showcased than the goal. Because, like I say, Kane took the ball down really well. Played it out to Ses, who was in a great position. Probably could have, if he was going to be naive, I guess, he could have shot a goal. He didn't. First time ball perfectly across the unmarked Sonny to sweep home from close range. And a little point on Sonny. That's now 20 Premier League goals. None of them from penalties. You know, most goals from open play in the league. If Sonny was bothered about individual tallies, which he's not, and records, you'd be looking out thinking he's only 2 behind Salah now. Why not? Why not go for that golden boot? It would be incredible for him. It would be brilliant. I'd be made up for Sonny because he will have completely deserved it. And he doesn't even really want it. If you asked him, he just all he cares about is getting 4th place with Tottenham, and that is the measure of what a humble guy he is. But for Ses, this was another game where he proved to Conte in the big matches he can be trusted. And I saw it before on social media. I saw people going, oh God, Salah up against Sese뇽. Oh God, this is like such a mismatch. And it's like, well, I'm just trying to remember now. Did Ses play in the home game? I feel like he might have played in the home game as well. Oh, I cannot for the life of me remember. But even without that as an example, he played at the Etihad and was superb against some of the best attackers in the world. And yes, I think it has to be said. I think he and Davies combined kept Salah incredibly quiet. They did. One of the best players in the world right now. And the 2 players who probably everyone was going to be worried about how they'd be against Salah didn't give him a sniff. Says a lot, doesn't it? Says a lot, and I'm including myself in this. Sometimes the opinions we have on football are born of our perceptions of things rather than reality. God, Poch would have loved that. He used to love perception and reality. So yeah, superb. Really, really happy with Ses. And time to push on now. If he can steer clear of injuries, play these last 3 matches of the season for Spurs, get what would be a really crucial pre-season in under Conte. Next season, I think he makes that left wing-back slot his own. I think he does. Because like I say, I'm not entirely sure whether Sergio Reguilón will still be at the club or not, or whether that will be a move that happens. And I think Ses, he is the chosen